Now, it's a bunch of women, black women, that say they're not voting for Kamala Harris. Don't try to pull the race card. Let's deal with the policies. Let's watch this video. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons. I love the way she broke this video down. It was awesome. And I'll come back to give a little bit of my commentary about this as well. Let's get into this and put your thoughts in the comments, but let's check it out.
Right into it. See, as a young single mother, I can tell y'all that rent is too damn high. I can tell you that as a young black voter, groceries are too damn high. And as an American citizen, period, seniors like my parents should never have to choose between medicine or food. It should never be the quality of life versus the quantity of life. And I don't want to hear, oh, but we capped the price of insulin and lowered the price of all these medicines. Yeah, but you raised the price of everything else, so it's about time to start telling the truth to Americans and let them know exactly what they're signing up for if they want to vote for Kamala Harris. We need to vote based on facts and not feelings. See, under Harris and Biden, the average Georgia household is losing $1,060 per month, and inflation is at 21.4%. And due to the war on energy, average gas prices have reached record highs for the state. We also did a poll, and 80% of us black Americans are not happy with the current state of the economy, so I'm gonna need 80% of y'all to vote accordingly in November. They love me, they really love me. The left wants you to get in your feelings about things that have been said, but I want you guys to pay attention to what has been done. They don't want to talk policy. They just want to use propaganda to steal your vote. The left is trying to tout this woman as a savior for the black community, but all she's done is hurt the black community since she came into the game.
That's true. She came for black women in California with the truancy laws. Then what about the thousands of black men she prosecuted for weed when she laughed about indulging in it herself? Lying on black men, sending them to death row on false test results. The judge had to force her to tell the truth about that evidence, even though she had previously used it to lie to the jury in court. This woman is evil. And we can't forget about Matrice Richardson in California. How she sabotaged that young black woman after she lost her life is diabolical.
See, the first step in destroying the black community is to dismantle the black family. So aside from her record as a prosecutor, why don't we ask Mrs. Willie Brown if Kamala Harris cares about black families? I wonder if Mrs. Willie Brown, a black woman, is also with her. A few days ago, President Trump said he didn't know Vice President Harris was a black woman. I'm trying to figure out what all the outrage is about because she's only black when it's time to get elected. Did I lie? The same black people who are mad at Trump for being confused about her race, ethnicity, nationality, whatever, are seemingly forgetting that while you're touting her as a savior for black people, she identifies as an Asian woman. She chose her side and it wasn't ours. When asked if she would ever do anything specifically for black people, she said no.
So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No.
Whereas Trump gave us the Platinum Plan, which specifically uplifted the black community by increasing capital by almost $500 billion, creating 500,000 new black businesses, and would give black churches the ability to fight for federal resources for their communities. And why are we acting like strong borders aren't a thing literally everywhere else in the world? Since when has being patriotic been a crime? See, a few weeks ago at the debate, Trump mentioned black jobs. And a lot of people got in an uproar as if they didn't know what he meant. Well, we go to the polls and cast our black vote. We go to the stores and spend our black dollar. We live in our black community, but for whatever reason, we draw the line at a black job. Oh, but wait, because if you're wondering what a black job is, please, I encourage you all to drive through Atlanta at all these beautiful black-owned businesses and check and see who works there. Probably a black person working for a black entrepreneur, recycling the black dollar, creating black generational wealth. Just as a woman, period. How can you be a champion for women's rights when you're taking away opportunities from biological women and giving them to transgendered ones? I'll wait, y'all, because I wasn't done. See, how can you promote equity for women and you're allowing men to play in women's sports? And what kind of feminist would still allow men to enter their sacred spaces, i.e. our bathrooms and school locker rooms? Do I even need to mention the opening ceremony at the Olympics? Or the fact that Angela Carini was forced to fight a man and told us that she's never been punched so hard in her life? We cannot allow dangerous liberals who think things like this are okay into the White House, because my daughter will not be fighting a man at her wrestling match. And what I think both men and women can agree on is that national security is important. So who would y'all rather see lead us into war if it were so to happen? My silk-pressed sister Kamala or the big dog Donald Trump? I cannot get up here without mentioning my farmers, the backbone of this country. And aside from the Biden-Harris administration hurting you guys in ways we can't even comprehend by the rising cost of everything, black farmers suffered even more due to the delays associated with the Inflation Reduction Act signed in 2022. Now, don't let the Biden-Harris administration fool you, because they waited until the 9th hour to sign off on disbursements as a last-minute attempt to garner support. But why would they hurt the agricultural industry? Probably because they're looking forward to making more money in the pharmaceutical one. And speaking of pharmaceuticals, because I promise I'm gonna wrap this up, when they bring up abortion and they talk about protecting your medical freedoms, don't be afraid to mention COVID. The Biden-Harris administration forced Americans to take an experimental vaccine and took away their jobs, their livelihoods, and their freedoms if they refused. Trump gave us a choice and Biden gave us a mandate. Hey y'all, because I'm about to kill him with this one. So the next time the left wants to tell you that, hey, abortion is a right and you need to protect your medical freedoms, remember that they took those freedoms away from men and women the second they got in office, and there's nothing stopping them from doing it again. Clock it. So lastly, again, I'm going to encourage you all to vote based on the facts and not feelings. Oh, he made me feel so bad when he said that. Okay, but they hurt your families when they sent all your tax dollars overseas. Oh, it hurts my feelings when he acts like that. Okay, but it hurts all of us when you see an administration failing their country that they were elected to represent.
I think Kamala's campaign is definitely in trouble. A lot of black people attended this Trump rally, and they had more black speakers who happened to touch on the issues in a way that was more relatable to black Americans. I couldn't believe it. Honestly though, this is a result of benign neglect. We're looking at a woman that's the Democrats' biggest target audience breaking away from the party. We're not in 2008 again. It's 16 years later, and they're only facing this after taking the black vote for granted for so many years. Let's go ahead and continue this conversation below in the comments.
Have left their old party and are now voting for Trump. Latina Brown and Madeline Brame. Madeline, good to see you. We'll start with you. You know, she's been vice president for almost 4 years.
Yeah.
Obama was president for 8 years as a black man. So is playing the race card here really a smart strategy?
You know, thank you so much, Laura, for having me once again on your show. It is absolutely the most silliest thing that they could possibly do, because most African Americans know that the illegals' benefit card is worth more than our worthless black card. So why would we care about who Kamala Harris is, about her race or her gender? We care about the policies that she has pushed with Joe Biden for the past 3.5 years. We are struggling. We can't even make ends meet. You talked about retirement earlier. I have to work till I'm 70 years old in order to get my full retirement. So, no, Black America is not supporting Kamala Harris, all right? Her color has nothing to do with the failed policies that she has championed and stood on for 3.5 years.
Now, people have called Kamala the DEI candidate, but Democrats, they don't like that.
Whenever you hear DEI, I want you to think about the N-word. I want you to think about racial slurs. That's what they actually mean.
Latina, when you hear DEI, think of the N-word? That's where they are? That's it?
Well, Laura, thank you for having me on. I just want to say this. The Democrats are full of crap. And I think that they know that the American people can see through the crap that they're pushing and circulating out there to the black community. If anything, the Democrats, they're the ones who are sowing division in the community, in this country. They're not about uniting everyone together. They're about themselves. They're about power. They're about division. They have their own agenda in place. And this thing has been in the works for years. It's just that now it's coming to light and people are starting to wake up. They're opening up their eyes. And I'm going to tell you something. The black community, we will not support her. Nope. They can try to race bait us. Nope. They can try to push the gender agenda in our community.
And speaking of that, Latina, speaking of that, I got a place because they're starting this pressure campaign for any black person or minority who is not considering voting for Kamala.
You're going to look real crazy being on the other side of that line, particularly as a person of color, but really as anyone who claims to have any connection to the culture. You're going to look real weird and real lonely on that side.
All right, one line from each of you. Madeline, you're going to look really weird, Madeline, if you don't support her.
I'm not paying her no mind. I'm not supporting Kamala Harris because I don't believe in the continued genocide of black babies in the womb through abortion, where she's pushing tooth and nail, even to the 3rd trimester. I don't believe in that, and I don't support that, and I don't believe that most of the, especially black women in the black community, support that.
Latina, you're weird if you don't support Kamala Harris. You're weird.
I think, that's a weird statement coming from, Miss Reed. I don't think she's all there mentally. God help us all.
No, let's be nice.
No disrespect.
She's very nice. She's very nice to me in the elevator. We sometimes ride the elevator together, and she's actually a very. I said we should do something for charity, like go on the road and do some show for charity, and she said she would. So, I'm going to hold her to that. But I don't know. It just seems like a weak argument. I mean, if Kamala Harris is a smart woman who has a record to run on, then run on the record.
Yes.
Just run on it.
I agree.
To me.
Oh man, I tell you, see, this was good. Now they're dealing with the policies, and the black woman that spoke at the Trump rally, she hit on every single topic that's going on. She broke it all down. Okay, she got with the policies. Democrats do absolutely nothing when they get in office. Things get worse when Democrats get in office. When Trump was in office before, the economy was flowing with money, all kind of stuff, small business loans, pandemic money, unemployment money. Gas prices weren't sky high. Inflation wasn't sky high. Rent wasn't going up. It wasn't like that. It wasn't no wars when Trump was in office. This was not happening. Okay. But as soon as the Democrats get in there, just like Trump said, he said, if the Democrats getting in Get ready for war, get ready for inflation. And when the Democrats got in there, what happened? Wars and inflation. We've seen it happen. So they saying, black women are saying, the intelligent black women. Let's get to that. The intelligent ones. Because the hood rat ones, or the women who are not intelligent, they just want food stamps and they don't care about nothing else. Give me some food stamps, Section 8. They don't care about bettering themselves. But intelligent black women understand what's really going on and how the Democrats being in office, they hurt the black community. They really do. And I'm glad these intelligent black women are getting up, speaking out, saying we're not voting for her just because she's black. What does that mean? Listen, Obama was in office and Trump did more than he did. Okay. Obama, I was glad to see a black president. It was all good and dandy. But Trump did more than what Obama did. It's just a fact. So let's deal with policy and not just race. Let's deal with the agendas. Let's deal with the crisis. Let's deal with what's on the table. Let's deal with what America is struggling with and suffering from, than trying to get a vote for, and try to make people feel like they should vote for you because of color. The stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Let's get to the facts. I'm your boy Zillionaire. Put your thoughts in the comments. I'm out of here. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons again. I love the way she broke that video down, man. But I had to give my commentary on this as well. I'm gone.